se bless, all our tires. Look, it's a surprise, surprise, don't deny us.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another life-changing, life-altering installment of Tea Time with Ayek. We don't always drink tea, but honey, please believe me when I say that we spill the tea. Okay, so if I'm looking very natural today, that's because today is a self-care kind of day. Not self-care kind of day, today's self-care day. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff to get my beauty accentuated. I was gonna say in order, but you know, it's already in order. So I'm gonna be doing a mask. I'm gonna be stretching out my hair, and I'm gonna do stuff with my nails, but I'm gonna show you everything I use. If you're new to the channel, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. You're gonna have a lot of fun, trust me. So I did a poll on the channel. If you're looking for love in Nigeria, all of that. So that was a video option, and then a life update was the other video option, and they're neck and neck, they're tied. So I have another video coming, which you can already expect what that video is going to be. Basically I'm going to discuss what to prepare for, the mentalities, all of that. There's going to be story times, all that good stuff. But today, let's do a quick little life update. So I am going to be using this Cantu flaxseed cream gel. I don't like gels on my hair, but I've used this once before and it did make my hair flaky, but I washed it, so hopefully it's because I'm hoping it's because I had other product in my hair that it had the flakes. Sorry guys, I went to the gym and I'm tired still. Okay, so usually what I do to stretch out my hair right now is I do flat twists on the hair, just multiple flat twists, no particular order, and I keep it in. I'll do like a turban if I have to go out or if I'm going to work or whatever, and then the next day I take it down so I can stretch, and it does help with the washing process. I notice my hair is not as tangled and doesn't shed as much, so if your hair texture is similar to mine, please consider this. Okay, so what's been that sounded like a commercial. Okay, so what's been going on with me? First and foremost, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I started therapy in March or April. I think it's been about 2 months. June will make it my 3rd month. So yeah, I think April. And that has been a very interesting and eye-opening experience. I'm comfortable talking about it now. I think before I just needed to get a feel of things and see if it was really going to be a good fit. She is amazing. I'm going to link her site below. She is Nigerian and she understands the experiences of first-gen West African immigrants. And it's obvious that she understands it. Like when I talk to her, she's like, yeah, no, I know. And I'm like, how do you know? So that has been really interesting and really pivotal for my healing process and just healing and you know, living my life. Basically, I was finally ready to take the steps to like stop being the victim and, you know, move forward with my life. And I needed some outside help, you know? And so it has been extremely eye-opening. We've had a lot of, you know, deep conversations about my background, my upbringing, who I am as a person, how my life experiences have shaped a lot of my decisions. And it has been, you know the kind of thing where like, it's easier for you to take on other people's problems because you don't have to face yours. That's kind of how I've always been. But I became more self-aware of it recently. So like around the time I started therapy, I'm like, wait, you're doing this so you don't have to face your own problem. Girl, if you don't get a therapist and start solving your problems. I actually found out about it. My cousin was speaking on a web panel, and the host of the panel said that she went onto this site called Therapy for Black Girls, put in her location, put in her needs, and she got a therapist, and she had been with a therapist for a while. So that's how I found mine as well. I highly recommend therapy. I know it's still kind of like taboo or whatever, but respectfully, a lot of people who look down on therapy are the main ones who need therapy. Like, I'm sorry. So, and I mean that respectfully. I do mean that respectfully, but like if you have stigmas around therapy, and there's difference between a stigma, like having a stigma and having a fear, or like looking down on people who go to therapy. I got that energy from a lot of people that not a lot, but a few people that I told, and I'm like, you might be the one, you might be the one, but sweetie, you might need therapy too, because when you go to a therapy session, the right therapy session, you understand why everyone should go to therapy. Because who doesn't have some sort of trauma? So therapy has been going great. Yeah, so that's what's been going on the mental health front. It doesn't mean that I haven't had, my challenging days. You know how anxiety can be, it can be challenging, but I'm getting through it, powering through it, Also, this one, I have to be focused to tell you this one, but so I had a full-time job and a part-time job. So the part-time job was like retail, fashion, that fun stuff, and then I had a full-time job. And so I was working that, doing both the jobs for a while, didn't really have an issue with it until it got overwhelming. And then also I noticed my boss, he didn't like that I was smart. Like the moment he found out I was smart, we started having problems. So this is my thing. I feel like when a non-Black person, tries to dumb me down or whatever, it's expected because it happens. Like they're constantly trying to humble Black women. Like that's fine. But when a Black person does it, and in my experience, it's always, in the case when it's a Black person, it has always been a Black man, except for once. It just bothers me. Like, why are you mad that I'm smart? I think we're having a conversation one day about something, and then he goes, are you into politics or something? I'm like, well, I did a certification in college, blah, blah, blah. And so I pay attention. And he was like, oh. And then the energy changed. The whole, oh, so you think you're smart, right? I'll show you that you're not smart. And for me, it's like, okay, it's one thing if you do it when it's just you and I, even though I don't deserve that, but like, it's one thing if you do it when it's just you and I, but when you do it in front of my colleagues to like intentionally humble me, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, long story short, it's obvious that he was upset that I was smart. And so I'm just like, guy, it's not my fault. Like, I'll do one, like, relax. So that was a challenge. The other supervisor there kind of learned pretty quickly that like, okay, let me just, redirect her if she needs redirection, but let me not micromanage. And I think, like I said, the micromanaging started when he realized that was smart. He was just trying to discredit me. And I'm like, why are you mad? So, normal work drama. I wouldn't say work drama because it is what it is. I think more and more I'm learning not to take things personally because, first of all, a lot of people in this world like are mentally unstable. Respectfully, in case you're watching this, boss, respectfully, a lot of people are mentally unstable. On a serious note, it is what it is. So I just kind of said, you know what? I can't kill myself. I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not his problem. He got bigger problems. If he's upset that I'm smart, that a Black woman is smart. Can we look at these? I don't even know what to say. Well, braiding is not my gig. So hey, as long as it stretches out the hair, that's what matters. So I think also my experience at my full-time job kind of taught me like, first of all, taught me that I'm more of a Gen Z than I am a millennial, because Gen Zs do not care. They walk in there, they're like, yeah, I'm not feeling this, and they walk right out. And I've just realized there's nothing wrong with packing your load and leaving if it's not a good fit, if you feel like you're being demeaned or being bullied or being disrespected. And this is not just in the workspace, this is just in general. It's, for most people, it's not an overnight like snap and go thing of, oh, I don't like that, so I'm leaving. It's a process, you have to think it through. But I'm more and more comfortable with the idea of like, if the environment is toxic, I just have to carry my load and go. Yeah, I have to, because there's better coming than what's left behind. And also, like, sometimes it sends a message enough that you took the step to move on, right? A lot of times people think that you need them, and you don't. You don't need anybody but God. So I think that was my biggest lesson. I'm learning to be okay with saying this doesn't, and it's not even a thing of like, this doesn't serve me, but that is an aspect of it. But like, this is not going to benefit me in any way. It's going to task my mental health, and I'm not going to be able to do my job as well, which most likely is the goal, or was the goal of my boss, like, you know, basically trying to hinder me, because I'm like, there's no other explanation for that. But yeah, just being able to pack my load and go and not feeling bad about it. It doesn't, and I think it's also about balance, because I am also the type of person that if it's too hard, because I don't like stress, I'm like, yeah, this is too hard, I'm done. So it is also about finding that balance and knowing whether it's, okay, you're overly sensitive or you're lazy, you need to stay, versus, I'm speaking to myself, versus this environment is not conducive to my growth. Let me just pack my load and go. Because they're going to send me out anyway, because I'm going to cut somebody out. That's what's been going on in the work thing. But speaking of work, I started a podcast, guys. I throw it into my bio. Is it bio? Into the description box at the bottom of my videos, but I don't really push it that much. I think it was a confidence thing, because I think about the podcasts that I listen to. You know, the heavy hitters. I Said What I Said. That's really the only podcast I listen to. And I'm like, do you really want to advertise this? It doesn't sound like this. It doesn't sound like them. It doesn't sound like that. Then I'm like, girl, if you don't share your podcast, if you don't hit record and start talking. So the podcast has definitely stretched me and made me step outside my comfort zone and not be afraid to push my work. And then also just do what I'm good at. I'm passionate about storytelling. I'm passionate about sharing stories, hearing stories. That is my life's passion. That's what I see myself doing with my life, career-wise. And yeah, so the podcast is called The In-Between. And really the goal of it is to show the similarities that all of us within the African diaspora or various African countries have in common, based on like random things like parents' expectations of women or perceptions of women in our culture, our names, and how a lot of times the moment we leave our countries, they're completely butchered, but we're expected to to say European names and the likes properly. So I talk about all of those things, and I think you really enjoy it. So I'm going to link it down below, and this is the Instagram, so please follow us on there. So that's the update with career stuff. I've been going to the gym, and guys, why I did that? I don't like that. So I started working with a trainer again. Well, she's my friend, but she's actually a trainer and a health coach. So your girl has been in the gym. I don't look at the scale. I mean, I don't look at the scale anymore. It's just like, you're supposed to work out, I think they said 30 minutes a day or something like that. Girl, do I know? But I'm just seeing it as being active, and it's also, again, a step for me to work on my confidence and my self-esteem. So my challenge with gyms was I was always so self-conscious, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna see me, they're gonna wonder whether I'm doing this right or doing it wrong. But like, first of all, I had to check myself. I'm like, girl, even Beyonce, it's not everybody looks like Beyonce. And I'm not saying that to belittle myself or anything, but like, to think you are the center of attention all the time is untrue. So I had to be like, girl, even if they are looking at you, so what? Second of all, then not everybody in there is looking at you. So it has really helped with my confidence. I haven't gone to the weight section yet because I'm like, I'm not there yet, but I'm working my way there. Like today I wore shorts to the gym, and I don't have a problem wearing shorts in other places, but to the gym, I feel uncomfortable, but I guess not anymore. I wasn't pulling them down or anything like that. So that's a big step. I've been super intentional about my self-confidence and my self-esteem because I feel like my struggles with it have kind of kept me in they have kept me in a box. They've made me, make excuses for not doing things. And that's just not going to work in this next step or this next phase. So when I used to complain that people were forcing me to step outside of my comfort zone, now I'm forcing myself. I'm like, girl, you better get your happy self out there. And it has been good. And then also I just feel really good. Although I be feeling sore and stuff, but I feel really good. Like I accomplished something, which is big because for me, I always felt like accomplishments were degrees, promotions, very much work and title and accolade wise. So looking at being consistently active as an accomplishment is a big deal for me. It's growth, in the words of Kelly, right? Kelly from Insecure. That's growth. Love life. I mean, it's the same story, different day. The people are coming, but are you what I want? Are you what I want? You got what it takes? And again, I think it's been just me having to do a lot of internal work and say, okay, this is what I want in a partner. This is what I expect. If they're not going to meet it, then don't even bother looking at potential, which was a mistake I made in my last relationship. But I'm not looking at potential. I'm not looking at, oh, well, maybe you're overthinking it. Like if my spirit says, look into that, I'm gonna look into it. And so that it hasn't complicated the dating process, but it has definitely made me more intentional. Before I had a policy of like, 2 weeks, I'll give him 2 weeks. If it's a good fit, then we keep going. But now I give it like 2 days. Because I already know I'm looking for my sleeping cap. I don't want this to get on my hair. I'm just going to use this. I already know within 2 days. Actually, within the first conversation. So I think also for me, I don't even take it the step of, oh, can we hang out? The moment I hear can we hang out, I'm like, let's converse on the phone first. Let's talk first. And from the phone call conversation, I can generally tell it saved me a lot of stress. Okay, saved me a lot of stress, a lot of time, and a lot of gas because I don't gotta drive nowhere. So that's what's going on with my love life, and you know what? I'm happy about it. I'm proud of that because I'm like, that's a big step for me. For someone who thought that she had to just take anyone, as someone who was very much like, I would just take anyone, which obviously my last relationship showed that I would just take anyone. It's a big step for me. Like, I'm like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. And not feeling bad about it. And not thinking, oh, if I don't take this person, no one else will come. Which, that's a tough thing to admit. But that was the mentality I had for a long time. And it's like, no, if I don't take this guy, I'm making room for the right person. So that is what has been going on with love life. I've also been making plans and keeping them with my friends. Open to going out a little bit more. I did get the vaccine. Yeah, for me, I forgot to tell you what I'm using. I'm using the Reviving Kebela mask. These are at Target in like the skincare section, but they have this bin. I think it's $5 or less. And that's how Target be getting you with the $5 or less thing. I've just, because of how weird, let me see. Okay, this is the peel off mask. Because of how weird last year was, I'm literally destroying this dress. I'm so upset. I'm pissed. I'm hungry. Because of how last year was, everybody's like, listen, I'm taking every opportunity to be out and about. So I feel like I've been doing the same thing. Like I said, I got the vaccine. I got the Pfizer one. And I'm like, not that I'm putting my hope in a vaccine, to be honest, but I think that made me more comfortable to like go out to meet up with friends or like go to small gatherings and things like that. And that's the plan for the summer. Like, I'm getting a mini grill. I'm planning a cookout, like, and I never thought I would do that. I just never saw myself doing stuff like that. I'm planning beach days and stuff because I just want to experience life. Like, I think I told you guys this, but last year really almost took me out. And I feel like it almost took a lot of us out. So this summer and just life in general, I'm just stepping out. And I think it has also helped. What has really given me the push has been working on my relationship with God, because I have hope now that I didn't have before, and I have worth in something that I didn't have before. I didn't feel like I was worth anything. So I'm just ready for a hot girl summer. This thing does not look like I'm gonna peel it off. It looks like I'm gonna have to wipe it off. This doesn't look like it. Anyway, okay. So let's let this dry. What is that? Girl, what was that? That was weird. Hope it wasn't a baby cicada. I'm gonna let this dry. And I'm gonna peel it off. We're gonna close out the video. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, so that's some of the mask. I can't peel off the other parts because, as you can see, I put the mask near my edges. I don't understand myself sometimes. So I'm gonna have to rinse that off. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick life update. As always, update me. What's going on? Let me know. Okay. What was your highlight of May? What are you looking forward to in June? That's what I want to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, to follow the podcast page, listen to the podcast, and I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Bye.